What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone for another daily news update. It's a pack one. It's a very strange one because the title is obvious. Are we gonna sign nobody in January? That's the vibe Giuntoli is giving everyone, even Allegri, to that extent. However, the media is fully convinced that we are gonna sign somebody, and if we are being completely 100% honest, there's no way this club cannot bring in any sort of help in January if you actually want to believe in the title. And the club can say all the fancy stuff. Oh, it's top four, it's Champions League. Bullshit. If you're in this position, and maybe things can change from now until December, till the end of December, because we have tough games coming up. But if you're in this position going into January, you go for it and you try to make the team better. Certainly within the rules of the new club, of the new Juve, and also thinking about the future, but you need to make an effort. And that's what we're going to talk about. Before we do that, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and let's jump straight into it. Okay, so straight out of the gun, let's talk about what Giuntoli had to say. And it involves Junior, but it kind of involves the transfer market, because he was asked by Sky Italia what he thinks of January, what could be done in January, and he said, we want to continue with our sustainable and competitive project. Fair. Opportunities will come later. We think about our players, some who have played less, like Nicolosi and Ealing. They will give us a hand. Okay. Two things here. Nicolosi will give us a hand if a player is injured. It's not improving the team. It's emergency. Locatelli's not fit. 1 game a week. Nicolosi, you play. Will he be better if he plays game? Yes, I do believe that. But he's not going to play more games. He's not going to take Locatelli's place. So the lineup, the team, remains the same. It's not going to make up for something this team is missing. Actually, when he jumps in, this far, okay job, but he's not as good as Locatelli. So we are lacking in that regard. So he's not going to take Locatelli's place, nor should he, by the way. But it's not going to improve us. Like, if you want to play Nicolosi more, it's because you're not going to play Locatelli. It's not you're going to keep Locatelli and you're going to add Nicolosi into that mix and we become better. That's not the idea behind what he's saying, And same for Junior. Junior, okay, potentially we can play better going forward if you play Junior instead of Kostic, but we all know that's absolutely not going to happen with Allegri there. So that statement is kind of, brushed it aside, because he's not going to play Junior. He's going to play Kostic. That everybody knows that. Nobody is that stupid. Let's be all honest here. And even if he's going to play, yes, we're going to improve, but it's not going to be improvement to that extent that it's going to make us compete or push for that title. It will give us more offensively, and it will, in my opinion, will help out Chiesa a lot more. However, playing, especially the Nicolosi one, is not going to make us a title contender, because he's only going to play if Locatelli is out. That's the only reason when he's going to play. There's not going to be another reason. So that statement is it's like yes and no. It's maybe they should be playing more, especially Junior. But however, we are missing certain things in other areas, So you can make that statement, and yes, competitive, and that's why I said you need to make smart signings, If it's a loan deal, it's a loan deal. You need to know what the project is. You need to know, is Allegri going to be your guy? You need to know what type of football are you trying to play next season. Is it going to be this 3-5-2? If not, then don't sign 3-5-2 players. Then it's pointless, Then I agree. Don't sign these players to a long-term deal. I get that. However, we need help. Everybody knows we need help. And the Nicolosi thing is all fun, but it's not going to improve us, because he's only going to play if somebody's injured. So that's the vibe Giuntoli is giving you. When the entire world knows we need help. Like, we really need help. You lost 2 midfielders. You lost Pogba and Fagioli. Like, you can twist it however you want. That's the team you went into the season with, and you lost 2 of them. They're not coming back this year. One, and the other one never. You need help. But that's that. Now let's move on to SOULE. It's a 2-parter. because first, Mirko Di Natale spoke about Soule, and he said Newcastle and Crystal Palace are looking at Soule. Juve is not considering a permanent transfer in January, even if in the face of significant offers between 20 and 25 million. I thought it was key when he said in January, and that's what I said in my video yesterday. Keep your mind open, never say never. We can say, oh, they're not going to sell Soule. Everybody is for sale at this club at this moment in time. If an offer comes in and it's way more than the potential value or just bang on the value, the club will take that into consideration. Nobody is safe. Just keep that in mind. Nobody is safe. The only time a player is safe is he actually refuses to leave, like Vlahovic did. Otherwise, everybody is for sale. So that's why when people see the Soule news and they brush it aside, and it could be completely fake news, whatever. However, I think there is some truth to it, and also you need to keep an eye on it because the club will sell anyone at this moment in time. They will. Depending on the offer, they will consider selling everyone. They said that. In the summer, Giuntoli said, any offer, nobody is untouchable. Any offer, we will think about it. We will look at it. And as you should as a club. But as of now, there are no offers. But the significant thing is, Mirko Di Natale said in January. I thought that was kind of telling, okay, then what in the summer? And that's when Giuntoli jumps in and he spoke about it. Again, he said, Soule is very talented. We're happy he is doing well. It means that the program is bearing fruit and we are pleased with his, I don't know about the future. We hope he can play for Juve. There's no hope. He is your player. He can play for Juve. That's also a very strange statement, in my opinion. That's not definitive. Like I said, even fake definitive, he's going to be a top player for us. Even when you think chill, not even that. When he says, I don't know about his future, we hope he can play for Juve. I'm like, you don't really need to hope. He's your player. You bring him back next season and you play him, then there's no hope. You are in control of this situation. But that's why I've always said, and that's why I said in my last video, never say never. If an offer comes in, a crazy offer, and 30 million is considered crazy for the club, I wouldn't be shocked. I think nobody will be shocked if the club accepts it. If an offer of 30 million comes in, and they almost got him for free in the past, the club's jumping on that, in my opinion. They will jump on that. They absolutely will jump on that, because it's just straight up plus Valenza what the club needs. So keep that in mind. And that statement from Giuntoli is a bit iffy, in my opinion. It is. It really is. And linking that with Miretti, with Mirko Di Natale saying in January and all the news coming out around Soule, I'm just saying keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. I don't think it's 100% certain that he's going to play. He says, the program is doing well. It is doing well, but is it doing well for us? Junior is not playing for us. Soule is not playing. Fagioli aside. Miretti hasn't played the last 2 games. He played half the minutes of the season. Whatever you think about Miretti. Hildes and Huysen are in the first team, but they're not featuring. So, yes, the program is doing well, but at this moment in time, we are not really reaping the benefits of it. Frosinone are, and that's about it. If you just sit back, it's all good. It's a buzz. They all look good. They're in and around the first team, but they're not really contributing. So can we really be exciting? Because they're not making a difference on the pitch, if we're being completely honest. So that's that. Now let's move on to Jadon Sancho, from a good source, from Platigol on Twitter, Sky Germany, saying that Sancho is still leaning towards a permanent transfer in January. But he also wants to see what happens inside the club. I don't think he has time because I don't think the Man U thing will be resolved in January. That's why it's going to be a loan. There's no fixed price tag. A loan with an option is still the most realistic scenario. The interest from Juve is concrete as reported earlier. That's what Giuntoli is talking about. Opportunities, long term, it's a loan. If it doesn't work out, you just go back at the end of the season. If it does work out, we'll try to figure it out. Maybe we'll bring you in. If the price is not good, then okay, we move on. That's what the club is trying to do. I'll keep saying it on Jadon Sancho. I will be absolutely stunned if we bring in Jadon Sancho, even if it's on loan, because I have no idea where he's going to play. I have absolutely no idea what he's going to play. In this setup, I have no clue. Like, I have no idea where he's going to play. So I don't get it. I don't see him mixing it up in mid-season because he's not mixing it up to accommodate Chiesa. He's telling the world Chiesa's a good striker, which he's not. You know, he's not a good forward. Compared to his usual position on the wing, it's not even close. So he's not doing that for Chiesa. I doubt he's doing that for Jadon Sancho. So that rumor, I'm still very, very confused with that rumor. It's real, like it's coming from very good sources, but I absolutely don't get it. I just absolutely do not understand it one bit. So, because I don't see the club changing formation because we got Jadon Sancho on a 5-month loan. We're not doing that for Chiesa. So why for Jadon Sancho on a 5-month loan deal? So very confusing news. I'll keep saying it. What is less confusing is Domenico Berardi, and this is from Daniele Longo. He's saying the idea of acquiring an offensive winger is gaining momentum. The preferred candidate remains Berardi, and contacts with his representatives is still ongoing. Sancho is the second choice, although addressing his high salary may pose a challenge. Now, I do think they will switch it up for Berardi, because if you get Berardi, he's going to be here long term. You know, it's not going to be a loan deal. It's going to be long term. I'll keep thinking this news is sad. I know people say you will get the goals and whatever. Is this the future plan? Like, is it really like the planning we should be getting exciting for? You know, I don't like Berardi. Like, maybe it's that. Maybe I'm biased. I don't like his mindset. Since a couple of years back, I'm not a fan of it. You know, I'm absolutely not a fan of his mindset. And it just feels like this is going to be too big. You know, it's going to be too big, the pressure and whatever. And it can be completely wrong. And he can, you know, come on and tear the rooftop up and get, like, I don't know, 10 goals in the second part of the season or whatever, like something crazy, and goes on to have a crazy goal involvement. It's just, it doesn't feel right, does it? Especially for the price, like plus 30 million mid-season. Imagine Sassuolo what they were asking mid-season, you know, compared to in the summer when they had time, whatever Cannavale said, to replace him. Like, just imagine what they're going to ask for now. Like, just imagine. But he also mentioned Jadon Sancho. Now, I do think the Berardi one is more realistic, or like more something the club would do. Because they will convince Berardi to play some wing back, maybe until the end of the season, whatever, second striker. They will convince him. I don't think you can convince Jadon Sancho, who's trying to revive his career, you know, ahead of a summer move potentially, or a new coach coming in at Man U and him, you know, keeping at Man U. I don't think you're going to convince Jadon Sancho to play wing back, you know, or second striker. I just don't see it. So the Berardi one, it's not going to go away for me, unfortunately. But a lot of people do like him, so potentially good news for some of you. Then Daniele Longo went on talking about SUDAKOV. He said the idea of SUDAKOV in January is losing ground as Juve aims for a more immediately ready player. He's ready. I think what he means, or the club potentially mean, a player that needs to come into a new league and hit the ground running. Okay, but then, like I said, you're just going to sign Berardi and maybe potentially Samardzic, like one of those players. You cannot... The age thing is not really an issue because he is ready. He's proving it on a big stage already. But if you're bringing in players from outside of the Serie A, it's going to be the same thing. It's not age that's going to determine that, because Sancho hasn't played football for like a year and a half, you know, and I'm being kind here. And yes, Phillips, he also hasn't played a lot of football. You're going off experience, and fine, but like, he's played big boy football. Like, it's not that he's coming from a random league. He played in Europe and he played very well, and is playing very, very well in the Champions League, even for Ukraine. So I don't think that can be an excuse. You know, if a player is good enough, he will hit the ground running, in my opinion, if he's being put in a right situation. You know, because Phillips and Sancho links, they haven't played football for a long time. So are they immediately ready? You know, experience, yes, but like game time, not really. We need to be also honest with that. So kind of sad, but like I said, if you don't get him in January, SUDAKOV, it's done. You know, he's going to the Premier League, whatever, and he's going to be out of our league, you know, paying money. So I think that's one that's just going to go away really quickly. Then Tuttosport had a very tepid news on Fabian Ruiz. He got injured in Sunday's game with PSG. And Tuttosport with the breaking news saying, for the January transfer window, Juve are searching for a central midfielder with strong offensive qualities, which is weird because I don't think that's really Fabian Ruiz's game, you know, like strong, unless they have a different meaning for strong. Similar to the profile that had also led to the interest in Fabian Ruiz, whose availability is uncertain due to a shoulder injury. We shouldn't be signing Fabian Ruiz, not even on loan. Like a 6-month loan deal, the club, I don't know, maybe, yeah, whatever, depending what you're going to do in the summer, but long term, that should not be the answer. When people speak about offensive or the media, I'm like, he gets the goal, but like, he's not your typical offensive midfielder. He isn't. And his last year at Napoli, I thought, and at PSG, he's not really, you know, like, he's not bad. Like, I'm not saying he's bad, he's poor, or he's a crap player. I'm not saying that. It's just that I don't know. Like, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like that's a player we're going to need, you know, in January or whatever. So, but that was kind of an easy story. Injury and, you know, potentially it's not going to happen, you know. But let's see, because the rumors were coming from good sources a couple of weeks ago. And to top it off, Bernardeschi speaking about his return, saying, you know, a piece of my heart remains at Juve. Let's see, but I will be happy to come back. Why wouldn't you? Like, why would you not be happy? Everybody watching this video has a piece of his heart at the club and will be happy to play, but that doesn't mean you should be playing for the club. I think the story is it gets sadder with the day, in my opinion, you know, because it's very open and I'm a bit scared. It's worse than the Douglas Costa thing. No, it's not worse. It's the same as the Douglas Costa thing. It's just that. And Douglas Costa wasn't fit, but when I think when I think about Douglas Costa, I still have some good memories. When I think about Bernardeschi, I just have frustrating memories. I just it's just pure frustration. So no, 1,000 times no, that can absolutely not happen, you know. But let's see. You know, it's the first week of December. Like, the Giuntoli is making it look like we are absolutely not going to bring somebody in. Allegri saying it's not needed. I think everybody can agree we need it. So let me know in the comments what you think we need. Or do you believe Giuntoli? Is he lying? Whatever. Let me know in the comments. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel. And I will be back with a live show later today. So stay tuned for that as well. And yeah, thanks for watching. Ciao.